Hi there, Riji. My name is Ellen, and I will be correcting this essay for you today. Let's take a look at what you have written. The topic is ex-prisoners and if they're the best people to talk to youngsters about crime. So let's see how you did here. Certain part of the people is suggested. The best suitable advisor to provide the detailed education regarding the effect and side effect of committing crime is the released criminals who acquired adorable behavior from the prison. However, I profoundly agreed to the opinion because of its advantageous, like the teenager can easily understand them as they are experienced, as well as they can explain the consequences. I would like to cast light on my ideas on forthcoming paragraphs. All right, so the first thing I'm seeing here, Rigi, is that there is a lot of problems with grammar. Not just grammar, but also word choice. So I could go through it a little bit more. The one sentence that was somewhat correct in terms of grammar was this last one, but it definitely felt like a learned expression, like something you had memorized. And then it's not on forthcoming paragraphs, it's in forthcoming paragraphs. But the rest of it was fine. The all of this writing here, though, had a lot of problems, like I said, both with vocabulary and with grammar. So let's see. Let's take this sentence, first of all, and I can't even tell you that, like, oh, well, this is what's wrong with it grammatically, because just it was really problematic. I think what we're really trying to say that is certain people suggest that the most suitable people to provide information regarding the consequences of committing a crime are the released prisoners who have become reformed. Okay, that's essentially what you're trying to say here. But in your effort to rephrase, you lost sight of appropriate grammar and appropriate vocabulary. Like we would never use this word adorable behavior. That's not appropriate. I didn't understand this, the effect and the side effect. That was unclear. And then a lot of this was wrong. Not the detail education, but detailed. In even still, that doesn't really tell us anything. Like, why is this education detailed? Why isn't it just education? So, and then this had some problems too. So that's that about that sentence. Let's look at the next one. And then again, this felt like a memorized expression. I profoundly agree. You don't need all of that. So you could just say, however, I agree. And I don't even know why you would have a however, because if you agree, there's no reason to have this linking device which shows contrast. And that's what however does. So this isn't necessary. All you need to say is, I agree with this opinion because it is advantageous for the teenager since they can easily understand the former prisoners through their experience. I'm not really sure. Like, that doesn't make sense. You can understand somebody because they're experienced. Why? You can't understand somebody who is not experienced? So that doesn't really make sense. So I think you mean to say here's something else. Okay? So that's a lot of information about this first introduction. I also think it could have been shorter. I think it should have been shorter. It's, look at this. It's the same length as your, hold on. It's the same length as your second body paragraph. And to me, that's not a good sign. Um, Basically, you want to really focus your writing on your body paragraphs, and your introduction and your conclusion should be much more concise. They should be shorter. They should literally get the job done. They should do exactly what needs to be done, but no more. And then what you really need to do is you want to spend your time and your effort on developing your body paragraphs, okay? And like I said, these two are the same length, and so that for me is not the greatest thing. All right, so moving on to your body paragraphs now. To begin with, the teenagers will benefit from the speech from the ex-prisoners as they went through the actual situation. Moreover, they are the best person to verbalize the feelings such as the time of incident and what was forcing them to do. For example, a professor who committed murder and after 10 years he released from the jail. Thereafter, the co-workers noted that he transformed his character completely. Furthermore, the students were inspired about his speech regarding the cause and effect of crime on a school festival motivational talk. Simultaneously, he was explaining the emotional stress during and after murder. Students were able to feel him, and they were inspired to control their unexpected anger. Okay. So again, what we're really dealing with here is grammar issues. Some vocabulary, but grammar is really creating quite a problem here. So to begin with, teenagers benefit from the speeches of ex-prisoners. Now, look what happened here. You say they. Who is they referring to? You mean it to be the ex-prisoners, but since this is the subject of your sentence, it could be interpreted as the teenagers. So you really have to be careful when you construct sentences like this and use pronouns, because it's just not always clear what the pronoun is referring to. Let's see. So to begin with, teenagers will benefit from how can we redo this? Let's see. Teenagers will benefit from being spoken to by ex-prisoners as they will learn from firsthand experience, or first-person experience. That would be even better. So you want to use a different kind of construction here. You don't want to, of course, repeat prisoners and teenagers in the same sentence, but you do have to construct it in such a way so when you use pronouns like this, it's clear what you're talking about. And then here, moreover, they are the best person. You can't say they and singular. They are the best people. But it's still not clear to us who this is. Is it the ex-prisoners? Is it the teenagers? It's confusing. To verbalize the feeling such as. Now, the feeling is not the time of incident. That doesn't make sense, okay? So you want to say something else here. They are the best people to verbalize details of their experience, such as the time of the incident and why they were forced to do what they did. Okay, so this would be more appropriate grammatically and lexically. Now, I don't know why this person is a professor here. That was unclear to me. But okay. For example, a professor who committed murder and was released from jail 10 years later. That's, you see, there's no verb here. So you're missing action, you're missing a verb. So that's a major part of the sentence which we need. And then here, thereafter, the coworkers noted that he transformed his character completely. I thought that was irrelevant. You don't really need that in this sentence. That his coworkers said this. Let's see. And then the students, which students? Why was he talking to students? So all of this was really rather confusing. I didn't understand the situation. So the students were inspired by his speech regarding the cause and effect of crime on a school festival motivational talk. We don't really use this expression, a school festival motivational talk. It doesn't really make sense. I think you want to say something else, during a school event, perhaps. Okay. So I kind of feel like part of the reason why the coherence and the cohesion here is suffering is because of all these grammatical problems. But I do have to tell you that it is creating a strain. I'm having a hard time following your arguments and the way your sentences kind of blend into one another. So that would be reflected in your band score. Okay, let's move on to the next paragraph. Moving further, the danger of involving the unexpected situation and the negligence of the family, friends, and society after this can well explained by them to teenagers, as they are more prone to get in unknowingly. Or again, here there's problems with the grammar. This can well be explained by them. You needed passive voice here, okay? And then they're more prone to get in unknowingly. This is unclear to me. I don't know what this is supposed to say. So that's a problem with lexical resource. For example, many of them are mentally ill due to the consequences of their stress, and it leads, with an S, them to self harm, and the hope of the life will be lost. Okay. And the hope of life. While sharing these emotional stresses to the children, get rid of the apostrophe S, certainly they will be careful in their life. Who is the they? I'm unclear here again who this is. And I'm not really understanding what this paragraph is about. I don't really understand it. So there is definitely a loss of coherence here because of some of these grammatical and vocabulary problems. Okay, so let's go to your conclusion. To recapitulate, talking to the teenagers with the experience will be more effective. That unexperienced talk, I don't think you mean that. I think you mean than unexperienced talk. Moreover, they will easily understand and feel the stress of prisoners. You don't need an apostrophe here. Eventually, it would help them to be careful in their life. Along with that, it will be an inspiration to get rid of those situations with an S here after those, as well as to control their emotional feelings in a proper way to protect them from danger. Again, so grammar again, as well as vocabulary. So I see that you understand what you're supposed to be doing in these essays. You understand the concept of how to structure and how to organize and everything, and so that's positive. But I'm really finding a major problem with some of the grammar and some of the vocabulary. It really needs to be worked on so you can get to a point where um, you're going to be scoring better in this type of essay. Okay. I want to encourage you to maybe do some work. You could do it either locally or, maybe even online. You can do it with someone, but you have to work on your general overall English. And then this will help you improve in your IELTS score. Okay. Of course, we are here to help you when you are ready to prepare for IELTS. Some students do like to do it concurrently. So they're working on their grammar and their general English while they are also preparing for IELTS at the same time. So that's something you can consider. If that's the case, then I want to recommend the comprehensive course to you because I think you'll need all the support and all the information that's included in that. Okay. So thank you for sending this in, and I want to wish you tons of luck.